Hello, everybody, and this is it's me, Jeems, and I'd like to welcome you all to Nerds. I think it keeps getting longer each time I do it. Anyways, today's date is November 20th, 2021, and I didn't do an episode last week because of there was just like scheduling stuff and technical stuff. It was a hassle. It was a pain in the butt. But I'm gonna go over a lot of stuff that's happened in the 2 weeks right now. First off, recent news. Recent uh, unfortunate news is that Richard Lowtax Kyanka of the website somethingawful.com uh, passed away. He the details are still kind of sketchy, but apparently he took his own life, which is very sad and unfortunate. And I had heard that he was something of a controversial figure. I never really dug too far much deeper into that, but whatever a person may have thought of him, suicide's not a joke. Suicide is a serious matter. That shouldn't happen to anyone. If you have feelings of suicide or of harming yourself, then please speak to someone, speak to anyone. I myself have depression. I know how hard that can get. But yeah, that was a pretty big bummer. I always loved going to Something Awful. Uh, him and Zach Parsons were so funny. Um, and in tribute to him, in tribute to Lowtax, I watched the riff tracks of Troll 2, which is the doozy. It's a really incredible episode. I want to, just I hope that his family is dealing with this as best they can, and I wish them well. Um, On to other topics. Um, it's been a big 2 weeks for music. First off, we have a lot of the bands I like releasing new stuff. I heard the Chapeltown Rag by Slipknot. I heard Chain of Destiny by Rhapsody of Fire. I don't know if Luca Turilli is in that incarnation. I think he's in Luca Turilli's Rhapsody. It gets confusing. It gets very confusing. Um, I listened to This Is War by Gone and Tech9, and I adore Tech9. I love chopper rap because it it takes so much skill. It's just incredible to me just hearing it. There's some new stuff by Backswash, who, if you don't know, is this amazing uh, trans artist. Uh, I first got into her with her album Bury Me in My Rings and My Dresses, which every song on that album is genuinely one of those songs where if you were a wrestler, that would be like your pre-fight song. So her stuff is really amazing. Um, I listen to stuff from the Marias, who are a pretty good band. My friend actually turned me on to them. Um, and next year I'm going to go see them at my hometown in concert at they'll be at a place called the Lowbrow Palace, which is it's a really neat establishment. Shout out to the Lowbrow Palace. Um, Postmodern Jukebox did a cover of Smooth Criminal, which I dig their covers. I realize that it's their novelty things. Where it's like, what if, these 20s, 30s type crooners did modern songs? Like, I realize it's a novelty and I enjoy the novelty, so yeah, I don't really care. The Mountain Goats have new stuff out. Well, it's not new stuff. It's kind of new stuff. It's it's a live album, which constitutes as new, I guess. Um, and yeah, Mountain Goats are pretty dope. I liked them ever since I heard them back on the Colbert Report many many years ago. Their first song, like many people, their first song that I really latched onto was No Children, which I believe I first heard on an episode of the Adult Swim show More Laurel. So there's that. Um, uh, yeah, there's some stuff that I watched. What first off, my Instagram got really weird because it wasn't because it was down. It just wasn't responding to the app wasn't responding, and it was responding to my password and stuff like that. So I ended up inadvertently creating like 4 new accounts to try to fix this. It was a big kerfuffle, and I keep 2 of the accounts. So it all turned out well. And yeah, I'm recovering the information I have from the other accounts. But yeah, some of the stuff I watched, I dipped into the kind of 80s sword and sorcery realm with Deathstalker 2, which that's actually a neat one because it is a dumb, cheesy Spanish Italian Conan the Barbarian ripoff that realizes it's a dumb, cheesy Spanish Italian Conan the Barbarian ripoff, and it leans the hell into that. Like, it's very much a comedy, so it's a charming little thing. Um, in terms of uh, in terms of riff tracks, which I'm always getting up to, I watched the 2 Oblivion movies, which are they're space westerns written by Peter David and produced by Charles Band of Full Moon Studios, and I think that is ultimately the best way to describe them. Just that sentence tells you literally everything. There are a lot of kind of B movie or older mainstays. These were made in like the mid-90s. There are a lot of mainstays. There's that wonderful old workhorse Meg Foster as a cyborg. There's the dude that played Lurch in the 90s Addams Family movies as kind of the Grim Reaper. Like, they don't really get into it. We have because it's a Western, we have the brothel owner Miss Kitty, who is played by Julie Newmar. Miss Kitty, get it? Get it? And also George Takei as a drunken frontier doctor slash dentist slash inventor. And if you think you're going to watch these movies and not get bombarded by at least 100 Star Trek references, then, hit the bricks, buddy, because that's going to happen. There's just stuff like he's drinking a bottle of Jim Beam, and he says, "Jim, beam me up, Scotty." It's like, yeah, you can tell Peter David wrote this. The Mads, Traceable You, and Frank Conniff had their new special, Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women, which is a weird one. It's actually two German movies sewn together. It's got a robot named Robot John, that sounds like a pimp's name. It does, it really does. And it also has a telepathic Mamie Van Doren. So, that's something that everyone's always wanted. I also finally, with my brother, watched the riff tracks for Money Plane. We had seen Money Plane before. And, we had fun with it when we were watching it together, and it's just as good and bad with Mike, Kevin, and Bill. I watched The Eternals, which there was a lot of hate surrounding that movie, but I didn't really understand the hate. Some people thought it was, I don't know, too woke or something like that. Quite frankly, I don't even like the word woke. Whatever wokeness there might be, it wasn't delved into. People said, people aren't gonna recognize his characters. It's like people didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. It made like $1 bajillion, like all the other Marvel movies do. They could literally put anyone. They could put any Marvel character in a movie, and they'd make a mint. We all know that at this point. Speaking of putting a bunch of people in a Marvel movie, the new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home dropped. And we see a lot of familiar faces. We, of course, have Doc Ock and Green Goblin, played by Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe. I mean, yes, please and thank you. We have Jamie Foxx as Electro, comes back as Electro. And he's wearing what looks like a more Electro suit, which I think is neat. There's Lizard and Sandman, I believe. But I don't think Thomas Hayden Church and Reese Ifans are coming back because they're basically just CGI creatures, it looks like, in this. And I think Hayden Church had a pretty good send-off for his character in Spider-Man 3, and also Reese Ifans didn't really enjoy doing The Amazing Spider-Man, so there's that. And we might have Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and we might also have Maguire and Garfield as other Spideys. That's still kind of up in the air. People don't know if those leaked photos are, photoshopped or what. It's kind of a big, kerfuffle. Um, I watched the first episode. I'm watching an episode a day. I watched the first episode of Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. I had huge trepidations about this. I thought, like, how are you gonna, why remake Bebop? Why do this? And I watched the first episode. It was a bit of not bad, you know? It's not like the cartoon. It's not going to be like the cartoon. But essentially, if you want something that has the same basic story and same characters, but it's just told with a fresh angle, yeah, watch Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. I watched it and I don't think it deserves 100th of the hatred that it's getting. I actually enjoyed it. And last but not least, I saw a screening of a movie that I am in. The movie that I'm sure people who follow this channel and know me will know that I am in a movie called The People's Joker. It is made by an incredible filmmaker, incredible person named Vera Drew. She's super cool. She's done a lot of work with Tim Heidecker. You might know her from that. She was also on she did voiceover work on I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. She's a really neat, interesting person, and I have a role in her film The People's Joker. And when it's finally made available to, like, when it finally has a mass release, I can't wait for you guys to see it because it's beautiful. It is a Batman and Joker story, but it is a trans, queer, coming of age relationship story. That sounds weird, but it's done beautifully. Like, it's honestly a beautiful movie. I was getting misty when I was watching it, and I really was. So I'm very proud to be part of that. And this episode went on a little long, so but yeah, that's about it. I'd just like to thank everyone for watching this, for tuning in. Just a reminder, I do this every Saturday. I try to do it every Saturday. Count on me doing it every Saturday. Let's just put it that way. If you like this video, press like. If you really like the video, press subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment, leave a comment. But make it civil. Because I don't need bad comments. I mean, what do I need? Ulcers? So yeah, that's about it. And I just want everyone to remember, tulips shall grow.